It's been a stressful day, so I just feel like I should go out and relieve myself of some stress. So this is me on my way to my guy's house. So I'll be going with him to go and play football. It's been a while. I think the last time I played football was like 4 years ago, so it's been very long. So you should know that I might flop today, but don't worry, I'll do very well. To all those who think I'm not good, I'm very good at playing football, and I love football very well. Imagine I just get there with all my preparation and it happens that I'll be on the bench or more, just fight everybody. I'll carry the ball and run and go to my house. But don't worry, I'll do very well. Nobody will bench me. I'll be playing. I'll be on the starting level. ASAP. So this is US 30 on a 5-minute time frame. So what you see here is that my intention was to take a buy on US 30. So immediately price broke out from London session here. My intention was to enter at the demand zone, although because of the modification I've set for myself, now I don't enter with price limit order anymore. Instead, I wait for a confirmation by a candle before I enter. So at this point here, this was my area of interest. So my intention was price to come around this area, either break below or at least respect this zone. Then my intention was clear and it was for me to just buy. So at this point, what you see is that immediately price got here. At this bearish candle, respected it. Then the bullish one rejected. Immediately after this bullish rejection, all I wanted to see was the next candle to come and engulf this previous bullish candle here. And it did just that. If you look at the next bullish candle it came down and it closed above the previous bullish candle. So my interest was clear as anything. So immediately I entered manually at this point here. But you see what price did here? Immediately I entered, price sticked for about 15 minutes or 10 minutes around my stop loss. Then it went straight for my stop loss. So as you see here, this was a loss trade. But regardless though, it was a very clear setup and it was a clear entering point. Even if I had used limit order, it would have still been a loss trade. But then again, you know one thing about notification, you have to take numerous trade before you will know if it is going well or not. So at this point, it was a very clean setup as you see here, but it was still a failed trade. This is gold on the 5-minute time frame. My intention was clear as well. My intention was to buy this market. But then again, my strategy is still as simple as always. I trade supply and demand. So I waited for market to break out above London session. If you look here, this was the high of London. So at this point, price broke above London session and it closed above it as well. So at this point, my area of interest was around this demand zone. One of the reasons my intention was to enter around this point was because of this power candle. Some may refer to it as Marubuzu candle. So immediately I saw this candle, I knew that price was going to respect this area. So this was my area of interest. I wanted price to come back, respect this area and reject from around this zone here. And price did just that. If you look at it, when this bearish candle came back, it rejected at my area of interest, then it went in my direction. But then again, I needed a confirmation that this was going to be a bullish trend. So at this point, at the completion of this bullish candle, I wanted an engulfing candle to engulf this bullish candle. Although this wasn't a perfect engulfing candle I needed to see, but I entered this candle regardless. And as you see here, it danced around my stop loss zone for a while. Then it went for almost 1:1. Then it went straight for my stop loss. Regardless of this outcome, I take full responsibility for my action because this was something I would have avoided, but I still took this trade. But although I go home with no regret, you get. If price had gone in my direction, I would have been an happy man. But then since it has gone against me, I'm angry because I wasn't strict to my rule. But then again, I'm not saying you shouldn't be strict to your rule because that's something I'm trying to do. I want to be as strict as possible with my rule because when I get strict with my rule, certain losses will be avoided, and that's the same thing that would have happened here if I have waited for a perfect engulfing candle which I wanted to see before entering this trade. But nevertheless, this was my last trade for the week. And it was a loss as well, although on the 1 hour time frame price was bullish as well. So this is gold on the 1 hour time frame. If you look here, the market has been buying for a while now, so this has been its higher lows. So at this point, I'll consider this point a rejection for price to come back and close this gap here. So this was what I considered it to be. So at this point, my interest was around here for it to break out, then I bought from here. But then again, I did not stick to the confirmation I needed to see on the 5-minute time frame. But that's fair anyways, so it is what it is. So I still have 18 more trades to go to see how the changes I've set for myself goes. So at this point, there's something else I want to let you guys know. On the 1 hour time frame, there's something I need to see before I consider a buy or a sell. In this my new modification, I've come to understand that all through certain research I've gone through and other probably YouTube videos of other traders I've watched, I've come to understand that if the daily trend is in a bullish direction, all I want for price to do is that after it's open on the Asian session, if I'm going to buy, I want price to create a wick down below before it breaks above. So at this point, this was what I saw here. If you look closely here, you see that this was Friday's open on gold, and this here is the week on the daily time frame. So you see here, this was its open, and it created this week. Since it was still in a bullish direction, my intention was to buy. So after I created this week, my confirmation was clear that I was going to buy if it broke out from London session, and as well give me an engulfing candle. So that's just some of the modification I've set for myself. So what you see there is just how my week went. I took just 2 trades and they were losses. So for people who are new in this channel, you should know I've been documenting my trade for about 3 months now, and it has really been a successful one over here. I've gotten real love here. So as of this moment, I've had numerous losses, which at the end of the day, I blew my account. So at this point, I decided that instead of going over to get a new one immediately and start trading over the same strategy, how about I just modify it, and then I trade something new or add some changes to my strategy, then I still trade it. So at that point, I decided to do some modification to my strategy. But instead of just trading it back on my live account, I decided to trade it on a demo account. So at this junction, I'm taking a 20 sample trades on my demo account. So I just set my demo account a $10,000 capital so that I'll be taking a 20 sample trade on it. My aim here is to make sure that the modifications or changes which I've added to my strategy are effective ones, and it will help improve my winning rate in the market. So that's just why I'm doing this on a demo account. So as you all can see, the first 2 trades I've taken out of the 20 sample trade I intend to take were losses. In the previous trades I took, I normally use a limit order for all the trades I take, but instead of using the limit order, I felt that how about I try something new that will help me to enter the market, to help me confirm the direction of the market. So at this point, I feel like instead of just setting a limit order at my area of interest, how about I use a candle confirmation signal or confirmation before I enter the market. So at this point, I've come to conclusion that before I enter any trade, I will see an engulfing candle, meaning that if I'm going to buy, I should be seeing a bullish engulfing candle, and if I'm going to sell, I should be seeing a bearish engulfing candle. Not just that, since I still trade supply and demand, so my area of interest is still at the supply and demand zone. So at this point, before I confide at the supply or demand zone, I want to see a very strong bullish or bearish move at that zone. So what I mean is that either I see a powerful Marubuzu candle move or a 3 strong candle move towards my preferred direction. So at that point, I just want price to come back and fill in that gap. So all what I have to do is just map out my area of interest and wait for price to come back and reject around that my entry point. So once I see a rejection there, what I'm looking for will be an engulfing candle towards my direction. At that point, I'll just enter immediately manually. So this is something I hope will help me avoid certain losses I've been incurring in the past. So at this point, you see how everything has been going again with my school and all of that. I just try to mix school and trading. It's not been easy. Okay, because of school, I've not been able to trade some of the days I'm supposed to trade. Like this week, you see, I just traded for 2 days because the other days I was in school, so I could not trade. But at the end of the day, you still have to move on, you still have to keep striving. Consistency is the only way you get to succeed. And at this point, I'm just trying to be consistent till I'm done with all the barriers I'm facing. I ended the week with a loss, but I still have 18 more trials to still trade the modifications I've set for myself. So at this point, I'll still be going in and doing the same thing I've always done. You get, I'm not someone that try to add ambiguity in what I do. I try to keep my trading as simple as possible, because when I try to make it complex and all of that, it stresses my brain and I have to go up and down and do this and that. When I come to market, what I look for is a trend I want to follow. Once I identify a trend, I just know that if price break out from the London zone, I'm going to treat that trend. And at this point, I have to be very strict with my rule, because I find out that when you're very strict with your rule, you get to avoid certain losses, even though you might miss out on some trade. But that's fair anyway. At least you'll be at peace with yourself that you did not do what you were not supposed to do. You did not do things that were not part of your trading plan. One thing we should adhere to is that when we set a trading plan for ourselves, we should just keep to that, keep doing it over and over again. That's what we call repetition in the market. Keep your trading plan as simple as possible and keep repeating it whenever the market provides the data you want to see. You don't try to force the market to provide false data for you or data that will make you feel happy. So I still go home with no regrets, and that's how I've always gone home with it. Losses are still part of the game. This is why we trade. One of the reasons we trade is for us to be able to accept losses, because if you can't accept losses, there is no way you'll be able to win, because you always want to win and win and win and win. and that's not possible. There will always be losses. But what we want is that after a period of trading, our wins should be able to cover up our losses and at the same time be profitable during that period of time. You don't get to know if you're profitable by 5 trades, 10 trades. You get to know if you're profitable when you've traded for 6 months, 1 year. That's when you know if your strategy works perfectly well or not. Sometimes due to the market condition, it makes your strategy looks like it is not working. But one thing you should know that every strategy has its perfect market condition, it works perfectly well. There's a time in the market where your strategy will be giving you wins in a row, and there's still a time in the market where your strategy will not be giving you that wins in a row. Sometimes you're having this mixture of wins and losses, but at the same time you just want to be profitable and you just keep repeating what you do in the market. So at this junction, if you are new to this channel, all what I'm doing here is the reality of my trading journey. All that I'm requesting from you is your support. So once you already subscribed, to click the subscribe button and also like and share this video to other people. What I'm trying to do is to instill discipline to beginners who feel that they cannot adhere to a trading plan which they have set for themselves. So far in my trading journey, I've been able to adhere to what I've set for myself. All the trading plan I've set for myself, I've been able to adhere to them. I rarely go against my trading plan. Once I set a trading plan for myself, I keep to it. So that's all what I'm trying to do here. Discipline is one major factor that will help you become profitable in the market. Without discipline in the market, you are nothing but a gambler. So there are chances you will not get to see my video and this beautiful and pretty advice I pour out here. So if you want to keep seeing my video and the motivational quotes I drop to help you all out there, click the subscription button and also like this post.